What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to our exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today, Bankrupt joined again by Chase, and as we go over today's matchup, like always, is buttons, leaks, check them out. But let's get into the game. Today, Chase, you are playing U6, both Kel and Khalifa, and you're playing against Nick Red, who is playing the quad coup from 10 years ago.
Yes, dude. I don't know how he finds out about these decks, but he'll just come up to me and be like, dude, I'm building this deck. And I'm like, this is from a different president.
It got some support from the anniversary box, which I think we talked about before on the channel once, a couple weeks ago. But we haven't seen U6 on the here yet. You want to give it a little bit of a rundown?
Yeah, so the entire deck is basically fusing but not fusing into Kefla. And you do that at basically any speed that you want to. So you can just do it post-battle on your turn and your opponent's turn. You can also awaken at the same time that you're doing that. So you can choose to commit or not to commit at literally any point in the game. I think that's the big strength, the fun part of the deck, to me at least, is being able to be like, all right, well, they've spent X amount of energy. I'm going to put out my blocker now.
Yeah.
Because the decks, yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying one of them, I think it's the 8-drop, when you play on your turn or when it attacks, prevent your opponent from resending a lot of cards, potentially. Depends how many they have in rest mode currently.
Yeah, so the way it works is when you swing, you can detach one of the cards underneath the drop area. And then you KO a card in rest mode, ignoring barrier. It's 30 double duel, and that is not once per turn. But also on that auto, your opponent can only untap 4 cards total in their charge phase.
Yeah, so I mean, at a right time, that could be very convenient for you.
Yeah, any going wide strategy right now sort of fears it. But honestly, most of the decks in the format right now don't get as bothered by it as it sounds. And so right here, your first turns are very much just sort of not thinking about anything other than getting your stuff online, right? Because you want that specific Kale in your drop. You want the Z. And so here's where you're faced with your first sort of challenge of the deck is now that I'm swinging at the lead using the auto tap of the Z. There's a bunch of things that go on in this deck all at once. So my dude's gaining 10, I'm tapping something, and if I combo with Kefla, it gains crit. So it's 25 crit. And I've decided to awaken here because the condition is have this exact board state, basically. And then I decided to just go ahead and throw out my blocker. It's early game. I noticed later that I need to go into 6. There we go. And so I just keep her up. I know I'm against green, but their removal... if you waste a pretty good removal on this, I'm not crying myself to sleep. I'm at 6 life. I know all of his stuff comes up later. And so he's playing out this red. I have no idea what most of his cards do. I know that they just swing big and are green.
Yeah, I think that's the promo rat. It's where if it deals damage, I think it is. Your opponent has warp cards.
Mm-hmm. And this is a cool thing about this deck as well, is that if your opponent does not have removal for your 6-drop, she's just in a huge resource engine, because every time you combo on your leader's backside with a yellow card at all, you draw a card. So if she blocks, you draw a card. If she swings, you draw a card, and you get to choose which card to detach first, right? So on your opponent's turn, you probably want to send the Kale because you're probably not making another 6-drop, at least early on. And here's where I combo 3 Robotic Riposte, because I've not seen an extra card all game. And I was like, well, this is probably going to be a quick one. So
hang on, all game? It's only turn 2.
Well, yeah, I know, but I've not seen that, and my extras kind of take a little bit to come online here.
That's fair.
So I decided to send all of my Robotic Ripostes. I think I have 2 of those Vegito, and I decided to charge 1. And I know I can clean up house before it gets too scary. Here, I just play that out, get some value. The 4-drops are really nice. This one right here will let you just combo with one from the drop. It sets up your um, your stuff, but also she can just be a Z energy fodder. You saw I draw a card and got a free Z energy for. It will do a second card as well off the leader, so it facilitates that as well. Because I know that I need to start gearing up for that Z leader and having the Z energy for that. So she's good for that, especially when you're just sort of sitting here around. Because I'm just gonna go here. Maybe I was trying to bait, some green defense here. Big number, swinging in, trying to go wide, which is not what you want to do against this deck. I forgot what the leader did. I didn't really check it till like turn 4, but like it comes up, but also I don't know. You can sort of modulate what's on your board at like any time.
Yeah, and I think, are we seeing a situation where you're leaving a kill on the? It's still your turn battle step. One of the tricky things about this deck, though, is that if you were to leave a Kel on the board, that Z extra card will take a life.
Yeah, it'll burn you for 1, which can be useful because, if you get left at 5, you can go down to 4 and have your super combos and everything live. But, I mean, in this deck specifically, 3 life and 4 life are, like, the same thing.
Yeah, because you have to have, 3 life in order to Z Awaken?
And also he's just throwing quad strikes at you. So I'm like, well,
oh yeah, that's fair too. Yeah.
I was like, well, it doesn't really make a difference, but it does sort of let you go down to 3 and then Z Awaken. The Z Awaken, I've been a little iffy on in testing. Like, it definitely has its place and it can be really good if everything lines up right. And Saturn covers Venus in the solar system. You can get a 30k standing leader. And a blocker for just like 1 energy.
Yeah, because I think you also lose out on the combo draw, don't you? With the Z Awaken?
You do. You lose out on the combo draw. Every time you swing with a Kefla or the leader itself, you draw instead. So you can start drawing more, but you lose out on the advantage on your opponent's turn. So you really want to use her when you sort of like drained your opponent of basically everything. And here's where I sort of missequence. I definitely want to take like A damage here, so I can have the threat open to Z Awaken, and then my Vegito is just safe from makes me safe from all the strikes, and this is a quad strike deck. So I definitely should have done that, but I was just like, I'll floodgate him, make him leak out resources. I have a really defensive hand. We've got stuff for days. We're not really threaten much, and we have 4 cards on the board, really trying to get him to go in for that attack, just to see if I can close this one out early, make him overcommit.
Yeah, and he's been playing this deck for a couple weeks now, so I feel like he's gotten the gist of when he can go for it. And Nick is also very familiar with card games in general, so I think that experience shows from what he's been doing lately.
Yeah, for sure. He's very good at just adapting on the fly and learning as he goes. So I think here's sort of one issue that comes up. And I sort of made this hard for him on purpose, right? Because he needs to get rid of his blocker, but then he loses out on his quad strike.
Yeah.
And at any time, I can also combo off the standing 4 drop. So he has like 3 difficult decisions to make in a row. And so he's going to go for that and tap 1. I think he goes for the boost here. I don't know why else he would tap 1, or unless he just didn't for playing the card earlier. So yeah, combo with the dude on board. Make sure that the quad's actually off. And then he goes here, and I'm like, well, I might as well just like block because he's tapped out. I think I'm almost positive I just blocked. Yeah.
Which saves. I mean, I think it goes away anyways in a turn. So might as well take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
So he is now completely tapped out. And if you were to establish the 8-drop this turn, he can only resend 4 cards.
Right. But one sort of, the card kind of nombos with itself a little bit because it's removal, which is great. But then you remove enough cards to where like you sort of just don't floodgate them. And you'll see here, I do go into the 8-drop here, and I do it off of the back of the 6-drop, I'm pretty sure. Or a combo here. Either one's fine, right? Because they're free combos either way. I decide I'm just going to combo with the Kale, get a draw, just get a Z energy. I don't need to use my Kefla combo yet. If there's even one in the drop, I'm not sure. One thing you got to be really careful about is like throwing your Keflas into the Z, because they can sometimes not come out very easily.
And you didn't. Okay.
Yeah, and that's where I go for this big one, and I'm like, all right, let's put that there, and then here I do decide I should have absolutely done that first. I completely missequenced that, but it's all right. I have one anyways, so no harm, no foul. We had the setup. Now we're going for double strike for 15, and then I can just go to the 8-drop here. He's tapped out, like he's comboing. He doesn't want to go too low, right? And here we go. Time to.
Now, I might be off on the timing. Maybe I didn't realize on the 6-drop. You do have to do that during the activate battle, right? The pay part of it.
Yeah, so
you did at the end of it. You had the intention of doing it regardless, but
yeah, the wordings. So Jimmy and I actually talked about this. I think you pay the cost in the battle step, but then like you actually do it like as battle ends. So it does matter. It does not matter here, I don't think.
No, I don't think it made a difference there at all.
But yeah, be mindful of the cards. It's a very complicated sort of effect there. And so here I have a hard decision of, do I want to like kill the Raditz or kill the guy who can just pump and crit me? And I decide on the pump and crit.
And here you are going for game, I think, actually, aren't you?
Yeah, we're trying to go for game. We got a 30k double strike coming with 2 life, so why not put a little pressure on? I don't know what I have to combo, just sort of left over. I might just leave it at 30.
You definitely did.
Yeah.
Which theoretically could get rid of cards in his hand. Now, I do want to point out, I don't think we talked about it much, Nick does his board a little bit differently. He keeps the cards separate the way they need to be separated, but his drop and warp are near his leader. His Z energy, Z deck, and life are on the other side. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, he's just sort of avant-garde with this build here. I mean, mine's just all over the place. But hey, I'm really debating here if I want to commit more. I should. Hindsight, already should have if I was going to, right? Like, this should be the easiest pass in the world at this point.
I think you did pass. You took a life already.
I think so.
Yeah.
He did. But yeah, it should not have even been a thought, right? And here, love Nick Red to death. It took forever for him to comprehend the 4 untap thing that the 8-drop puts him under. And so he decides to leave his Raditz untapped. That's sort of why I didn't think about it. I was like, well, something's being tapped, and it'll probably be like the guy left on board, because his leader's the whole gimmick of the deck, and you don't really want to leave an energy untapped very often.
And he is in a situation, if he could take care of your blockers, he could get a quad strike on you right now.
Right, but if he gets rid of my blockers,
that's true. He can't get
quad strike.
That's true. He cannot. He won't have it. Damned if you will, damned if you be, huh?
Yeah, that's sort of what I tried to keep it at the whole game. Because sometimes, like, just keeping the board state hard is enough. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be like 100% optimal, but like he's having to make so many decisions that they can, sometimes like conflict, because he is a newer player, as we all are sometimes. I really just try to make it as complicated as possible. But there he goes. He's trying to out it. He does. Quad strike is now off, but also quad strike is now on if I decide to riposte or something, but they're all gone.
You are, if I recall correctly, this Broly now is a 25k double strike, I think. I cannot remember if he has dual attack or not.
He is just double strike. And here,
he's going for the pan. Okay.
He gets the pan off. This was a ridiculous... he sends 2 super combos. And when he did that, I knew right off the bat, it's like, this is going to be an insanely powerful effect that I do not know what it does.
Yeah.
And so it was I have a very, very nice hand here of I can fuse, I can tap his thing down that comes into play. I have a free negate, and I have a final flash he can do nothing about. So I forget what he ends up taking here. I think I get to keep the cooler, which I think was incorrect.
I think the correct play is both the cooler and the Khalifa. That way you cannot combo. Because he gets to put. Oh, is it 3 cards?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ugh.
Yeah.
I think I would have left the Kellen though.
I would not have left the cooler.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I would have done left the Kell in your hand and then done the cooler hit. But I don't think you can negate the attack now either. I might be wrong on that. I haven't really piloted this deck too much before. I just know it has quad strike, and there's something else with the leader. Let me pull it up real quick while you talk about what you're feeling about this match at this current moment.
So I am out here like panicking, but hey, fun fact: the leader does gain 5K off of this because Kefla was played at all. So yeah, fun fact. One cool thing that could have happened, but unfortunately, Pen negates the skills. Is I thought you could combo off the 3-drop here because it allows you to do it permanently, but that is not the case. You do not get that. And I was about to say that would be crazy if I could combo off, draw a card, off my card in rest mode.
So the permanent is that when your opponent has 4 more battle cards in play, this card's attack can't be negated. So it's one of those things where, yeah, if he's going for it, he needs to combo his hand off, which the pan part makes it very frustrating. Yes, you're getting rid of 3 cards from your opponent's hand, which means the combo potential is lessened. But at the same time, it's kind of like those states where it's like, you need to have a fat hand yourself just to guarantee that this is going off because you don't have the super combos anymore.
So he goes for leader swing. He's very low on cards in hand. He goes for the leader. I have Vegeta's final flash, target his double striker, and just get out of the attack normally. If he would have comboed, I final flashed. I think if he had one more combo, I don't think he did, or I think he would have, because this is a swing for game. He just does not have enough to kill me with the leader, and now his double strike is off, and so now that 1 energy's got to be pretty killer. It's got to play like a serious win condition to get me down. I have 25k standing leader, so it also has to be able to swing big.
And now your negate's active again, too.
Yep. Now cooler is active. I forget what he goes for here, but it might just be pass.
He popped it. I don't remember. That wasn't a combo. Regardless. So
yeah,
you did survive that turn.
Oh yeah, we survived 100%. We had a negate in hand also. Big Boy Swing has Dormant. He has 2 cards in hand. They were non-comboable after all. One is a secret rare and his Homicidal Clones.
Wait. He had a secret rare in his hand?
He did.
Well, but he knew you had the gate.
I had the cooler, so he would have tapped out.
Oh man, that is so.
Yeah, that's.
Because if he would, unless he drew the secret afterwards, that might have been what happened. He drew the secret afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just it, right? I have double strikes on board. I have a ton of draw coming. We just cleaned this one up after that.
Yeah. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. Keep in mind his buttons, links, check them out, and like always, bye.